Do you have any spots in your home that you feel like you're constantly having to stay on top of, that the moment that you tidy them, they descend into chaos? They're always a bit of a mess. They're clutter collectors and just generally disorganized. I know I have several, and so today what I want to do is to spend some time tackling the messy spots, kind of like the problem areas in my home, really trying to get to the root of the problem and implementing new systems and solutions so that we can keep those spaces organized going forward. That's my plan for the day, so join me as I organize messy spots in my home. There are a few main spaces that I want to tackle, the first being our knife block and cutlery drawer. Our utility drawer has also been looking a bit more like a junk drawer recently, so I need to give that some love as well. I want to tackle Christopher's hat collection, and yes, I say collection because he has a lot of them. Our shoe storage is another big area that I'd love to address. And finally, I want to try out a new strategy for organizing baby clothing, because what we've been doing, it's working out okay, but I feel like it could be better. So that is the plan for the day. Let's get to it. Okay, let's talk about our whole knives setup. All of our knives are stored in the corner. They just live in this little knife block here. We aren't using all the spaces for our utility knives, but equally it doesn't have enough spaces for us to store our steak knives in it either. Honestly, what I liked about it is that it fills up the corner nicely. I feel like it can be really hard sometimes to know what to put in the corner of a kitchen. However, I got a KitchenAid last year. I've been loving baking with that, and I feel like it would be really nice to have somewhere to be able to store it on our kitchen counter. So I think the time has come for us to find a solution that will, number one, free up some counter space for us, but then also to give us a space where we can store both our utility knives and our steak knives in one spot. The good news is we have plenty of room to work with here in our utensils drawer. All of our utensils basically take up half of the drawer, and so we have this entire other section to work with that currently is only storing our oven mitts, and then our steak knives are in this box here. So here's my plan. I picked up this knife organizer the other day, and I think it's going to work really well. It's got some larger slots at the bottom where I envision putting our utility knives. Then it also has some smaller ones at the top. I think we can put our steak knives here. Want to put it right next to our utensils. So let's just do this now, shall we? Take everything out. I'm gonna put it right here. Remove the label. Oh, it was coming off so well. No! Why are labels so hard to remove? We need to bring in some support. There we go, much better. Although, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's 2025. How do stickers still not come off in one piece? Okay, but now all I'm going to do is pop some museum wax on the bottom of all four corners of this. That way it will stay in place as we open and close the drawer. And this is what I'm talking about right here. It's just a simple wax that helps hold things in place. Then we just need to pop our knives in. Just gonna use the back of this to get it out. Roll it into a ball, like so, and then stick it on. Okay, how perfect is this? Now I can open and close our utensils drawer. Nothing moves around, everything fits with room to spare. We even have a couple spaces free for if we do add to our knife collection in the future. We've got our steak knives up here. I feel like this is gonna work so well. I just love when an organization solution feels like an immediate fit, like it's going to integrate seamlessly into your life, the way that you use your home. This feels like one of them. We do have a couple of loose ends to wrap up though, so let's get out our KitchenAid first. It's just been living in here. Plug it in. Such a cute pop of color. I feel like it's going to be so convenient just to be able to pull that out rather than it's pretty heavy having to take it out of the cabinets every time I want to use it. And then technically we do have room in here for the oven mitts, but I feel like they're gonna be a little squish. So here's what we're gonna do. I've got one of my beloved command hooks here. I use these for everything. I'm just gonna put it on the inside door of this cabinet. This is where we store our pots and pans, right next to the oven. We'll just put that there. Then we can hang up our oven mitts, and anytime we need to use them, all we need to do is open up this cabinet door. It's right next to the stove, and grab them. Before moving on to the next space, I just quickly want to touch on the impact of going through this process, not just with our physical spaces, but with our mental headspace as well. Because much in the same way that we all have spaces in our homes that just don't seem to want to stay clean, similarly, we have mental spaces where old memories, places, experiences are triggers for us, and therapy can be a helpful tool to help tidy up those spaces, those experiences, those memories, to give us a clean slate, put us in a better position to move forward. That's something I've been doing. I recently started going to therapy again because I'd just been noticing that I had some anxiety, just some unresolved stuff had come up for me. I wanted to work through it. I've been doing that with BetterHelp, which a big thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. I found it so helpful just to have someone to walk alongside me. Anxiety often peaks in the late springtime, but with BetterHelp, you can get connected with a therapist who can provide support. I know that was a big part of my motivation personally, but the majority of BetterHelp members seek support with anxiety, and 69% of them actually report a noticeable difference in their anxiety levels after 6 weeks of therapy with BetterHelp. It's so easy to get started. All you need to do is fill out a brief questionnaire, and BetterHelp will match you with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. You can always switch therapists at any time as well at no additional cost. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. So let BetterHelp help you rule your anxiety so it doesn't rule you. To get started, just click on my link in the description box below or go to betterhelp.com/Ashlynne Eaton to get 10% off your first month of therapy. A big thank you again to BetterHelp for partnering with me on today's video, but now let's continue with our organization. Okay, back here in the kitchen because next I want to tackle our utility drawer. It's been a long time since I gave this drawer a hard reset. You can see the foundations of organization, but there is so much that doesn't belong, so much that needs to be removed. And to be honest, I feel like part of the problem too is that the categories that we need in here have just changed from what they were when I first did this. I think it was 2 years ago that I organized this last. So what I want to do here is first we're going to empty absolutely everything out, put it out here on the counter, remove what doesn't belong because there's a lot that does not belong in here. Then I want to treat this drawer essentially as if I'd never organized it previously. I don't just want to put things back where I'd had them previously, although some may end up in similar spaces, but I really want to spend some time thinking through, okay, what categories make sense now? Because I feel like some of that at least has shifted over time. So let's do that now. I'll walk you through the entire process, but I really feel like this is going to give us a much more practical and useful drawer in the long run. Okay, so got everything out. There is a lot here, so let's spend some time. I want to do some decluttering because some of this we just don't need to keep. Then we'll also figure out what we can put away. Then we'll categorize everything that we actually want to put back in here. Oh, and these organizers are really gross too, so let's give them a good cleaning. So I think I've now pulled out everything that I want to declutter, put away, or just throw out. So let me show you what we're working with. I've narrowed what makes sense to actually keep in this drawer down to this right here. So now let's pull out all these containers, want to give them a good washing, and then we can start putting everything back in here. I was able to get these looking a lot cleaner, but honestly, even with my magic eraser, still not looking perfect. This is literally the best I could do with this one. They were super affordable. I've had them for years at this point, so we're gonna ride them out a little bit longer. Just have to deal with a little bit of discoloration. All right, got everything dried. Let's go ahead and start putting everything back in now. I did like having my pens here, so let's repeat that. Let's do tape over here. Oh, forgot to put this back. This fits best here. Same with this. Label maker. Let's put the stapler here and put it back. I hardly ever need it. Some of our tools can go in here. Love that. And we can do batteries here. Maybe I'll put them in this to keep it a bit neater. Okay, wait, actually, I think this makes more sense. Keep this here. Let's take it with these guys. Then, yeah. Scissors, command strips. All right, notebook can go here. A couple just miscellaneous things here. Maybe like this. the stamps, tried to go super glue. Why not combine them? And then that's most of it. This took a bit of playing around with, but really happy with where we ended up. And I wanted to say too, don't be afraid to play around with your organization. Sometimes you do just need to try different variations and options out to really end up with something that you love. I feel like we got there in the end and really ended up with a major upgrade on what we had before. So here's what we ended up with. We changed several of the categories, moved things around. I'm really happy with the result. Not only does this look so much cleaner and tidier, but I also feel like the categories that we've implemented and also how much space we've dedicated to them, I feel like it's far more reflective of how we actually use this drawer. All right, then we're here in the entryway closet because the next space that I want to tackle is our shoe storage. Currently and realistically for the past several months now, we've been in a constant state of some variety or amount of shoes just being on the floor at all times. We have these shoe organizers, but the problem is I think we have a few too many pairs of shoes, and so even if we wanted to keep them all on here, they wouldn't all fit. And sometimes that's the problem, right? It's not that your organization solution doesn't work, it's just that you have more volume than you can handle. So what we're gonna do here is a bit of decluttering. Just looking at all of the shoes here, I can tell that there are some that I don't reach for often, and I know the same is true for Christopher. So I'll pull those out to either sell or donate, and then we'll look at what we have left over and organize from there. Oh, and let's give this closet a little vacuum while we're at it. Could use one. To organize by color as I go too. I have way too many pairs of heels. Only wear them a few times a year. Probably get rid of at least 2, I think. And then let's go just everyday running shoes at the bottom. Christopher's out right now, so leave a couple spots open for him. So between Christopher and I, and yes, I did consult him in this, we ended up deciding on 7 pairs of shoes to let go of. It really made a huge difference in our ability to organize the space. I've got this set up as a gradient, so each row goes from darker colored shoes to lighter colored shoes. I've dedicated the top 2 rows to Christopher's shoes, then we've got my shoes on the following 2 rows, and then the floor I've decided is going to be for our daily use shoes. So we've got space for 1 pair of running shoes and 1 pair of casual shoes each. And those will just live there. That way they're easy to kick there after you've worn them during the day. So I really think this is going to be a huge upgrade on what we were working with before. It really is amazing the difference that decluttering and then just giving things a home really can make. The one thing I will say is, as helpful as this shoe organizer is, it's kind of on the shorter side. We have a lot of boots and taller shoes that I had to flip sideways in order to get them to fit. So something that I'd love to do long term is to build out some really simple custom height shelves to put in here. Maybe even do 1 or 2 more layers for kid shoes. For the time being, I do think that this is going to help a lot and really remove some of the congestion that we were experiencing in here. And here in the closet, realistically, there's a lot that I'd like to tackle. Eventually, I'd love to do just a complete overhaul of this room, but one thing at a time. Something that I think will make just an instantaneous difference in the organization of this space is to find a solution for all of our hats. I have a few, but Christopher especially has upwards of like 10 to 20 hats. They all just get piled on the shelf above his clothes or inevitably fall to the floor. I came across this really cool rack the other day. Thought we could try it out. It's just a simple metal rack. You secure it to the wall, but it comes with these little clips that you can attach the hats to. And that way you can have them all just really neatly on the wall instead of our situation of just having them in a loose pile. So let's install this now. I just need to figure out where the studs are. We can drill it in. Love it. Maybe we only need one shelf. This was such a simple but also such a functional swap as well. Was able to get all of the hats off of the shelf up there, and now they're really nicely displayed, organized by color, and super easy just to grab whichever hat that you need, get it down. We're Patriots fans around here, in case you didn't know. We do have a whole extra rack, which I guess we don't really even need, so probably try passing that on to a friend, but really excited to see how this setup works for us. I'll report back on how we like it. All right, then for our final project today, I want to tackle our baby clothing storage, because while what I've been doing has worked okay so far, number one, I feel like it can be better, but then also it's just not sustainable as Oliver continues to grow and gets into some of the larger sizes. So let me show you what I've been doing so far and then what I have in mind that I want to try it. So what I had been doing was just using this large storage bin and putting all of the different sizes of clothing in these gallon size bags, and with things like the newborn clothes, most of them fit inside a gallon bag, but once we got up to the larger sizes, it would have to be super separated of just like simply bibs and hats. Or let's see a good example. Like right here, this is just onesies and outfits, but it wasn't even all of the 6 to 9 month outfits or onesies, and some of them had to go into other bags. So you just had to have 3 to 4 bags for a specific size, and as Oliver's clothing, items get bigger, I just don't think that it's going to work out well for us to be using bags like this to contain each size of clothing. So I wanted to come up with a solution that would be able to grow with us a little bit more, and the other day when I was in Target, I came across these super affordable, they're stackable zipper storage cubes. They fold flat when they're not in use, but they look a lot sturdier than a gallon bag, so that I'll be able to actually put and even stuff in all of the clothing in a specific size. Let me open this up to the full size so you can see. This is what it looks like unfolded. It's pretty good size, and I think because of the size and just this is a lot more durable, it's going to be able to fit an entire size or even multiple sizes into a single cube. So I've got 4 bags here. We'll see how many we need, but if we don't use them all today, for sure, as Oliver continues to grow, we continue to have more clothes that I want to store away. I'm sure we'll get through all of them. Let's test this out now, see how it works. First things first, I'm just going to sort out all of the sizes that I have, and then we can work on transferring it over. Okay, so I think I'm going to combine newborn and then also 0 to 3 months in here. So I think for the smaller sizes at least, I'm actually going to be able to fit 2 sizes in a single bag, which is amazing. I've got all of our newborn stuff, all of our 0 to 3 month stuff in here, as well as the 0 to 6 month socks, bibs, and hats. And there's even room to spare. I think this is gonna work out perfectly. My only complaint with these bags is there really isn't anywhere good to affix a label to, which if I'm going to be doing multiple sizes, definitely want a label. I feel like it would be such an easy thing to just add like a slot for a label. So Target, if you're watching, add a little label section, but I think I've come up with a solution. I mean, the bag's pretty transparent. So I think what I'm going to do is just cut a little piece of paper. I've got some cardstock. I'm just going to use Sharpie to write out a label. I'll slip it on the inside of the bag, and hopefully you'll be able to see through it and read it. Okay, moment of truth. Oh yeah, you can still read that. First bag, done. Okay, let's do the rest of these though. This is all the stuff Oliver just outgrew. This is probably my favorite embroidery project to date. Okay, new plan. I think we're going to go newborn to 6 months and then 6 to 12 months. I think I can get it all to fit in 2. So I am really happy with where we ended up with this. Of course, you know me, when I went through all of Oliver's 9 to 12 months clothes, which I'd partially gone through, but I went through them again now, and I was able to fill up this basket with just some items that I don't know that I would want to put a future baby in. And the way that I've been trying to approach just what we keep is, if I don't love it, I'm just going to pass it on. So got a pile of donations ready to go, but also was able to put all of our 0 to 12 month clothing in these two, and then I'll show you what's in this one. But first, this one, we've got newborn clothes 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, swaddles, hats, bibs, and socks. So basically everything for the first 6 months of a baby's life fits here, which is pretty impressive considering babies go through 3 sizes in that time. I've got it organized in, is it ascending or descending order? Whatever, we've got the newborn stuff on the top, so the first thing that I'm going to reach for will be the newborn stuff when we have a future baby, so that's on top. And then we've got 0 to 3 months kind of in the middle here, and then 3 to 6 at the bottom. Feel like that's just going to make it really practical and easy to go through down the road. And then in this one, we've got 6 to 12 months. And then I don't know that my camera turned off, so I don't know that you actually saw me filling this one up, but set aside in our closet, I had a lot of our postpartum supplies and just other newborn essentials that Oliver had grown out of, but that I wanted to save for a future baby. So in this tote, I have our newborn to 6 month toys, postpartum essentials, and there are bottles in here. Our bassinet sheets are in there. I fit a lot in there. Really, I'd say this is pretty much everything that we're saving for the first year of a future baby's life, apart from, of course, we have a couple bigger items like our Snuggle Me, our bouncer, but this is most of it here. I'm really loving these cubes for organization. Such a affordable, simple solution. So if you are trying to organize, whether it's baby essentials or anything else, I feel like these are a great option. I'll link to them and everything else that I used in this video in the description box below for you. But I'm already loving this as a solution over what we had previously. All right, well that wraps up our projects for today. So excited with all the progress that we made. I feel like some of the solutions that we implemented, I just know are going to work so perfectly for our life, how we use our home. Others of them, I feel like we're going to be doing a bit of a trial run with. We'll see how we like them, might need to tweak things a little bit. I feel like sometimes that's just what you need to do to get to organization that you love, that integrates seamlessly into your life. You gotta experiment a bit. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me today, that this gave you some inspiration, motivation to organize your own home. Until next time, friends, thank you so much for watching, for being here, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.